Small businesses around the country got a much-needed boost from the government's PPP and economic injury disaster loans programs that were rolled out last year. Now, notices are making their way to businesses and individuals to pay back those loans. The notices are very real, but the loans in numerous cases were not. This is all part of a staggering nationwide scheme to rip off taxpayers and steal money meant for Main Street. Kate Rogers takes a look in a CNBC investigation, Stealing from Main Street.
With guns drawn, police in Florida order the driver out of his car.
Step out the vehicle. Hand in the air, step out the vehicle.
Responding to an unrelated complaint, officers discover the suspect has an outstanding warrant for defrauding the Small Business Administration.
Put your hands on your back.
It's one example of a potential overall $84 billion fraud to steal money meant to help small businesses. Richard Clark is a detective with the Lauderhill, Florida Police Department.
Based on my experience, I mean, a lot of people have taken advantage of lapses in the system to benefit personally from applying for loans, either deceptively or using other person's information.
Clark says 32-year-old Xavier Taylor was able to obtain $81,100 from the SBA's Paycheck Protection Program by stealing personal information from a business owner. Facing multiple fraud charges, Taylor has pled not guilty. So far, $626 million has been seized or forfeited as a result of civil and criminal investigations of the Paycheck Protection Program and Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program, according to a recent report by the House Select Subcommittee on COVID. Victims around the country tell us they're astounded at how easy it was for criminals to exploit the system. Max Hebert lives in Wisconsin and fulfills grocery orders for Walmart. After being deployed in Ukraine last year with the National Guard, the SBA sent Hebert this notice to pay back a $45,000 loan with his name misspelled. He says the SBA told him there was a disaster loan taken out in his name.
And then they recommended that I go to identitytheft.gov to file an identity theft report.
The Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program allowed small businesses to borrow based on temporary losses of revenue due to the pandemic. Hebert doesn't even own a business.
So you're not planning to repay it, I assume?
I don't really have a good way to repay that. I mean, $45,000 is more than I make in a year.
The agency says the loan is on hold pending further review.
By next tax season, are they going to try to seize my tax return? Are they going to, try to garnish my paycheck if I don't resolve the situation in time? There's definitely a lot of things to be worried about.
And he's not alone. Karina Keys owns a digital media firm in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Keys received a loan under the PPP, which offers loans that can be forgiven if impacted businesses use them to keep workers employed, so she didn't need another one from the SBA. Then this payment notice came in the mail for a $150,000 loan taken out under the EIDL as well.
The shock of it turned to really a lot of frustration and anger.
Even though the application listed inaccurate details for her company, like its phone number, the loan somehow got approved. The SBA notice says she has to start paying back the loan in November.
Do you think it'll get resolved?
Well, I am a very, very trusting person, and so I want to believe that it will get resolved and that we will not be responsible to repay that loan.
In response to our investigation, the SBA says that the Biden-Harris administration takes seriously its responsibility to safeguard taxpayer dollars and prevent fraud, waste, and abuse in federal programs, adding, quote, in recent months, new enhanced checks have been put in place to intensify system validations used to mitigate the occurrence of fraud in the Economic Injury Disaster Loan and Paycheck Protection programs. The SBA went on to say that it is working with various federal law enforcement agencies to combat the fraud. It would not discuss individual borrowers.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.